Hi there, and welcome to the weekly Asylum and Immigration Reform Update, where I share with you 5 recent stories of interest to asylum seekers and those who want to stay current on immigration news. This week, we're discussing
Biden considers GOP's tough immigration demand. Republicans demand a study on crimes by immigrants. The Coast Guard's migrant policy is scrutinized. Immigration helps the economy, according to new study. NYC's mayor struggles with asylum seeker crisis.
I'm Brian Manning. I used to be an asylum officer with the government, but now, as an asylum lawyer, I help immigrants all over the country to secure their future in America through asylum. It's my pleasure to bring you asylum and immigration reform updates each week right here on the Political Asylum Lawyers YouTube channel. Okay, let's get to the news. First up,
in a tense political showdown, President Biden is considering tough Republican immigration demands in return for crucial Ukraine aid. The Republicans, wielding significant leverage, have halted a $111 billion emergency bill, pushing for a hardline immigration stance reminiscent of the Trump era. This includes stricter asylum procedures, with the White House potentially revisiting the contentious Title 42 policy. Amidst this, Biden faces intense criticism from progressives and immigration advocates who worry about a stark shift from inclusive policies. These negotiations underscore a critical junction of foreign policy and domestic immigration issues, intertwining Ukraine's aid with U.S. border security. The outcome, hinging on bipartisan compromise, carries significant implications for America's international credibility and its approach to immigration. As the deadline looms with Congress set to adjourn for holidays, the nation watches, anticipating the impact on both Ukraine's fight and America's immigration landscape.
And next up, for update number 2.
In a charged political climate, House Republicans, spearheaded by Texas Representative Pete Sessions, demand a new study from the Government Accountability Office to examine the link between uncontrolled immigration and crime in the U.S. This call for action follows several high-profile crimes involving illegal immigrants, including charges of rape, kidnapping, and a double homicide. Past studies have conclusively shown that immigrants commit crimes at lower rates than the native-born population. Still, the lawmakers say their request highlights a pressing need for updated statistics on crimes committed by illegal immigrants, particularly in light of the recent surge in migrant encounters. The last GAO report on this issue, published in 2018, is now considered outdated due to the evolving migrant crisis. Republicans are seeking comprehensive data to assess the real impact of illegal immigration on crime rates, incarceration, and the costs associated with these issues.
All right, time for our third immigration update.
Disturbing report illuminates the grim reality of U.S. Coast Guard migrant policy. The policy's stark contrast with land-based immigration treatments is glaring, especially regarding unaccompanied minors. At sea, the Coast Guard operates dual roles, lifesavers and maritime border patrollers. Notably, their ships function as floating detention centers, largely shielded from public scrutiny. Since summer 2021, over 27,000 individuals have been detained, a record high in nearly 3 decades. This investigation sheds light on the lesser-known aspects of maritime immigration enforcement, particularly the limited protections for minors at sea compared to those on land. While land policies offer some safeguards and pathways towards legal residency, the sea-based approach lacks such clarity. This discrepancy raises ethical questions, calling for a reevaluation of policies and a more compassionate response to humanitarian crises at sea.
And moving right along, update number 4.
New research overturns assumptions about immigration's economic impacts. A professor at the prestigious Wharton School of Business finds immigrants don't reduce native wages or employment, though many believe they do. His forthcoming book shows immigrant influxes actually drive investment and demand without direct job competition. Short-term strains on local budgets occur for migrant services, but immigrants' children become net positives over time. Current work visas fail to meet business staffing needs. Doubling immigrant entries wouldn't hamper GDP growth rates. Historically open border eras lacked evidence of harm to native groups, too. The professor asserts we could handle far more immigrants presently based on the revitalized volume of startup and firm openings needing workers.
And finally, our 5th immigration update for this week.
Facing a political storm, NYC Mayor Eric Adams seeks Washington's aid amidst a plunging approval rating, hitting a record low 28%. His quest for federal support to manage the city's asylum seeker crisis is crucial, as New Yorkers express deep dissatisfaction with his governance. A staggering 60% disapprove of his handling of crime, while 66% criticize his migrant policies. His political future teeters on effectively addressing these issues, with re-election prospects hinging on resolving the asylum crisis and averting major budget cuts. Despite attempts in D.C. to secure more support to deal with migrants, Adams returns empty-handed, intensifying the pressure to find solutions. Voters' fears loom large over potential cuts to police and school safety, underscoring the urgency of Adams's challenge. This crisis not only tests his leadership, but also reflects on the broader issues of immigration and urban governance, spotlighting the intricate balance of local and federal responsibilities.
And that wraps up this week's immigration news. If you want to win asylum in the United States, then you should call my office today. We help people all over the country, so it doesn't matter where you are. Call us now to schedule an asylum strategy session so that we can help you secure your future in America through asylum. Again, I'm Brian Manning, and it's an honor to serve you in your immigration journey.